Honestly, since I had 4 stents put in my heart 10 years ago, back in 2010, my goal has really been just to live every day to its fullest, live a fired up, focused day, and really doing away with all the things I don't care about and focusing on what I do. So to make that happen, I realized that I had to come out of the coast mode that I had been in for about 15 years and really put myself out there in ways that I would prefer not to. And it's not been easy. It's not been easy at all, but it's been worth it because we've had the opportunity to meet a lot of great people from all over the world, and hopefully we've made somewhat of a positive impact for a few of these people. And the last 10 years for me has been really quite a journey. So a good question you should ask yourself is, what do you need to do to have a fired up, focused life? That's a great question. You can answer it for yourself. I'll wait. Sincerely, what do you need to do to live a fired up, focused life? So personally, my goal must be, if I want to live a fired up, focused life, my goal must be to make February and every month after that the best it can be. To put 2022 on a good path, then I can't neglect February or any other month. So that's just to put 2022 on a good path, much less the course of the rest of my life. So my goal has been to have a fired up, focused life. My challenge has been slipping back into coast mode. That's what I've had to fight from the beginning. Just, Dale, it's not worth it. Just forget it, and slip back into coast mode. And I know better. I mean, I wrote the book, Change Your Financial Mindset and Create Wealth. I mean, I understand what it means to slip into a comfort zone. And I understand what it means and the challenges that you have when your reality has surpassed your grandest expectations. I was not prepared to deal with that at the time, and I can blame that for the comfort zone. But if I choose to stay there after realizing that, that's on me. So if I want February to be awesome, then I have to make sure this week is awesome, the first week in February. And to make sure this week is awesome, I have to make sure today is awesome. And to make sure today is awesome, then I have to make sure every hour of the day I am not wasting my time on frivolous activities. I must stay focused and doing that which can provide value to others and move my personal business and my businesses and my life forward. And some of you think, well, why do you have to provide value to others, people, but to others, Dale? And it's because I sincerely in my heart and soul believe that your long-term income in any business is based upon the value you provide to the market that you serve. You've heard me say that 1,000 times if you listen to this podcast on a regular basis. So for myself, I think many people like myself and others need to feel that they're providing value to really have fulfillment. And they choose to do that a variety of different ways. But how's that value really measured? For me, it's not, I so appreciate the feedback that I get through emails and social media comments and so on and so forth. That means more than you know. But for me, it's about, are people progressing and moving forward? Are they progressing and moving forward? So, if all this sounds like a mouthful, the older I become, the more I realized how formulaic my life is. And honestly, I wasn't even sure if formulaic was a word. I thought it was, and I looked it up. And the definition of formulaic is producing according to a formula or set of formulas, using discipline to follow a style or set of rules that produces predictable results. I'm going to say that again. Formulaic, producing, not hanging out and listening, not just gathering information, but producing according to a formula or set of formulas, using discipline to follow a style or a set of rules that produces predictable results. So that's the definition of formulaic. And I guess this is what I formulated in my mind to be what I always have called wisdom of the ages principles. Wisdom of the ages principles. Those are the formulas. Those are the formulas. Those are what you don't go against wisdom of the ages principles. You learn to work with them, not fight them. So this is how my mind is categorized and compartmentalized. Been on the beach for a week. Anyway, I understand that a confused mind does nothing. I get that. A confused mind does nothing. And that's in probably for all of us. A confused mind does nothing. So for me to function, I have to base my activities and my actions based upon formulaic principles or wisdom of the ages. Wisdom of the ages. Repetition is the mother of learning, and our programmed perceptions want to prevent us from internalizing thoughts and principles that can move our life forward. Let me say that again. Repetition is the mother of learning. So when I've run across a great idea, concept, philosophy over the years, then through repetition, I've attempted to internalize that, to make that part of me. Here at some point over the last 12 months, we talked about the concept of time management and how you can divide your days into 3 6-hour days, and how much more you can accomplish with that concept, that idea. That was a phenomenal philosophy idea, and I've implemented it and tried to internalize it and use it every day since the first day that I heard it, when a friend of mine shared it with me. And that's just one example. I could talk about many more. Jim Rohn used to talk about, I used to take my journal to church, he would say, and he said people would look at me strange and weird, like he's going to get out of here with some of that stuff. He's writing it down. So again, for me, it seems like common sense, but I understand it's not that common for most people. But that's the only way I know how to function, and the way I have functioned over the years. Repetition is the mother of learning, and our programmed perceptions want to prevent us from internalizing thoughts and principles that can move us and our life forward. Why? Because if you program with, well, that can never happen to me, I will never be able to achieve that, that's for somebody else, it's not for me. If that's all inside your internal programming, then you're never going to take the time to listen and write it down and repeat it and walk out of here with some of it. Does that make sense? See, our programmed perceptions, that's the whirlpool, and it wants to push us back to where we feel comfortable and where we feel like we belong. So yes, I live a very formulaic life. My February will be very formulaic. I can promise you that. My focus will be daily on that which I believe will move my life and my businesses forward. And when I say my life, I'm speaking of the 7 key areas of life, the wheel of life that we've talked about many times on this podcast. When I look at life, I look at the things that matter, which is your mental stability, mental, family, physical, career, spiritual, social, and physical. The 7 key areas of life. So how can you make February a great month for you? How can you do that? And how can 2022 be a phenomenal year for you? How can that happen? How was your January? How was January for you? And some of you are probably fired up about what's happened in January, and some of you think, well, it's about like every other month has been. And for those that are thinking that, I would tell you, as Einstein said, ignorance at its highest level is to continue to do what you've always done the way you've always done it, expecting different results. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So if January wasn't any better than any other month, and if you're not on that path, then there's no foo-foo dust that's just going to land on you and everything's going to suddenly change. It doesn't happen that way. Hanging out on your upline Zoom calls every week, hoping to get a dose of inspiration that will cause you to change your daily patterns has never worked, and it won't work in 2022. It's not going to work. As Jim Rohn said in the 5 keys to changing your life, 5 major pieces of life puzzle, but the first thing he says is you have to get serious. You have to get serious. And he says you don't have to be grim, but you must get serious. Most people are not serious enough about their future. They just kind of go with the flow, and going with the flow will not take you where you want to go. Going with the flow will not take you where you want to go. You're here. And again, thank you for being here and listening to this podcast. It means a lot. But you're here, I'm here, so let's talk. And I mean, let's really talk about making your February a fired up and focused month.
Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the #1 mind in network marketing, the MLM prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small-town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to thank you for being here. The title of this session is Formulaic Mindsets. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thanks for being here. I hope you've had a phenomenal week. And in this session, we're going to kind of just share some things. And my real focus is, how can you make February a phenomenal month for you? And how can that lead to a phenomenal year that can be repeated to the very best of your ability over and over the rest of your life? And that's really where we're going to be. That's where we're going to be coming from. When I look around, and as you look around, most people spend their life in search of personal entertainment and escapism. Personal entertainment and escapism. Just look around. You'll see it everywhere that you look. That's the world in which we live. And, I've talked about cat videos on YouTube for many years because it's just kind of my pet peeve, and not cat videos in general, but it's symbolic of the world in which we live. And I can remember back in the day when we were building teams in the early 80s, observing people that were addicted to the TV set. My term for the TV set is the electronic income reducer. The electronic income reducer. Most people were spending enough time every week in front of the TV set. If they would just devote that time to a side gig project, they could develop financial independence if they would just take the time that they're wasting in front of the TV set. And it was sad to me, and it's still sad to me, because people are doing it today with video games and worthless videos and so on and so forth. And the reason that people wasted so much time watching, The Love Boat or Gilligan's Island or Barnaby Jones or Roseanne or whatever they were watching is because what they saw on Love Boat was more exciting to them than their life. Helen Keller said life is to be lived as a magnificent adventure or not at all. And I believe that. I believe, it's what we make of it. It's getting into the marketplace every day and living life to its fullest. I mean, as passionate as we can, as fired up as we can be. I mean, that's what it's about. It's not about sitting back and playing video games for hours upon hours or any other, just waste of time, and put ourselves in a world of escapism, as most people do. I mean, you got to have outlets, and I'm all about that, and I have no problem with that. And if people say, Dale, I love XYZ video game, awesome. Play it 2 or 3 times a week or 4 times, 1 hour or whatever, and enjoy the heck out of it. Enjoy the heck out of it. I mean, really. And some people like to play softball or bow, and that's fine. Looking back, I wish I hadn't given it all up. I gave up all softball, and I loved it, and I would give anything today to do it. But it's like, if I had to do it over again, instead of playing in 3 leagues, I would have played in 1. So there has to be somewhat of a balance, and you have to have outlets. But what happens is people are overcome with escapism and seeking entertainment, where that controls every hour that they have of their own free time outside of whatever their 9 to 5 or their profession is. So that's where I'm coming from. I believe that those that don't have worthy goals are distracted by anything and everything. Let me say that again. Those that don't have worthy goals that they're working towards are distracted by anything and everything. So the formulaic philosophy that I've lived by, waste no time, go as hard as you can go every single day, working only on that which can move my businesses and my life forward. I believe in the philosophy, wherever you are, be there. If you're at a birthday party for a family member, take it all in, love on people, enjoy every minute. Don't be thinking about your business. And if you should be working on your business, and be focused on your business. Wherever you are, be there. Back in the day when we were just going really hard, I was doing, 3 cities a week and every weekend doing a seminar. And, during the week on Monday, I might fly into Columbus, and then on Ohio, and then on Tuesday, I might be in Raleigh, North Carolina, wherever I could get to, pretty quickly, with a private plane, and be home, be back in my bed at night. And then every Friday morning, I was heading to the Cincinnati airport, and we were going to San Diego or Portland, Oregon, or Seattle. And we were flying all over, doing big events on weekends, usually far away from my geographical area. And we were going at it hard. But also during that time, we took 4 vacations a year. We did 4 a year. After we did 2 conferences a year, and after every conference, that week after the conference, we were going on vacation. And we would take weekends, 4-day weekends. We might go to Gatlinburg, go up in the mountains for 4 days. We might fly over to the Bahamas for 4 days. But 4 times a year, I was going to decompress, because the rest of the time I was going as hard as I could possibly go every single day. And a lot of times if I was doing an event maybe in Idaho Falls, then coming back, I may stop over in Vegas for a day by myself, just to chill, just to go to Vegas. And I would go watch Lance Burton, the Lance Burton show. And, there was my favorite shoe store was in Las Vegas. So I would go to Adventura and chill before I got in a plane and headed back home and started running again. So again, there's a time and place for everything. Every month, my calendar, the first thing we would do is sit down, and I would go through all the activities that my daughters had. And if they had an ice skating event or any type of competition or church program or chanting with singing in choir at the school, then those times, those nights were all put in stone. No, Tuesday I can't go and do a meeting, and we can't go over to Charlotte and do that Tuesday night event because I'm going to be watching Channing do her choral performance or whatever. So again, that's what it takes, in my opinion, to maximize your full upside potential. Worthy goals create action. So I'm not talking about big wishes here. I'm talking about worthy goals. And if I ask those of you that listen to my podcast regularly, if I say, what is my formulaic mindset as it relates to the definition of success? Now, the definition of success, I heard from a gentleman named Bill Johnson, at a private dinner at a steakhouse. I don't remember the steakhouse, but it was in Louisville, Kentucky. I was in NSA at the time, learning in major personal development mode, and some of the national directors had met in this back room of this restaurant in Louisville, and Bill Johnson was there, who was making $1 million a month or $1 million a year at the time, and he explained this concept of what success is, and I later learned that it came from Success Motivation Institute. And that night, when I saw it for the first time, it hit me emotionally, and I thought about it, and I got this concept from my head to my heart. And for me, it's been my definition of success ever since that night. I've never seen or heard of a better definition of success. And some of you that listen to this podcast, you know exactly what it is because you've heard me talk about it many times. But again, this is a good example of a formulaic mindset where you have to get it. It's not just hearing it, oh, that's cool, that's awesome. If it's valuable, it has to become part of you. I call it getting it from your head to your heart. And when you can do this with different aspects of your life, it makes your life very formulaic, but based upon wisdom, not based upon how you're feeling at the time, what your particular emotions are. Does this make sense? So my formulaic definition of success is living your life. And some of you right now, oh, I know what he's getting ready to say. Maybe it didn't click with you initially, but many of you I know that are listening know exactly what the rest of this formulaic definition, philosophy of success is. Success is living your life working towards worthy goals. Working towards them. After you reach those goals, you are no longer a success unless you set new ones. Powerful, powerful concept. Success is living your life working towards worthy goals. A lot of people, especially in the network marketing industry, they've been living on $4,800 a month their whole life. They start making $7,000 a month and spending $9,000 trying to keep up with the Joneses. We've all seen it. It's happened over and over and over. And they quit working. They're in the toy stage. They're trying to gather as many toys as they can and have as many experiences as they can. And success is living your life working towards worthy goals. Once you reach those goals, you're no longer a success unless you set new ones. So I hope you take this to heart. And I'm just going to share with you 3 real quick ideas, concepts. Some of you listen every week, and again, I hope you'll be able to look back on this session and say, you know what? I decided to take February very, very seriously and get focused and get into a rhythm and get into a routine. And I've got it back. I'm getting in my rhythm and my routine. And February was phenomenal. And I'm going to stay in this mode, and March is going to be even better, and so on and so forth. Again, live in a very formulaic mindset and living with as much passion and being as fired up every day and focused and fired up as you can be. And I believe there's patterns to make this happen that you control. See, you control it. You control your own mindset. Well, yeah, but you don't understand, Dale. I'm having this and this is happening and that's going on over there. Yeah. And you can focus there, or you can focus on having a fired up, passionate day. It's up to you. I mean, we all are hit with life, disruptions daily. But you work through, you deal with what you have to deal with at the time, and then you get back into your rhythm and your focus, and you work towards your worthy goals. So I would ask you, just right now, what would a successful February, what would that look like for you in your mind? For your February to be really a great February for you, a successful February, what would that look like? And again, many of you are involved in different businesses and niches. Most of you are involved in network marketing. Some of you are, some of you are not. Some of you are involved in other businesses. And it doesn't really matter, your different professions, different jobs, different callings. But what would a successful February look like for you? And again, I hope you'll really take some time and really think about that if you don't know immediately off the top of your head right now. And I'll get a little personal and share with you what, in my mind, a successful February is going to look like for Dale. And maybe it'll take you a little bit deeper on how I look into planning a month and planning a month out. But I'll just tell you where my head's at right now, and hopefully that'll help you. And for me, the number one thing that's going to determine my February is out of my control, which I don't like. But at the same time, it's very, very exciting because it's like the plan is finally coming together. but it's out of my control. But for me, the thing that's going to be the biggest determining factor, reality, and this doesn't happen very, very often, but again, it's out of my control, but it's like, hey, the plan's coming together. And that is for iHub Global Hotspots. If we can get to the end of February and everybody that has ordered their hotspot between whenever and the end of January gets their hotspot in February, the plan is definitely coming together. I just got home from the beach and there's my antennas here, and they're sending out the antennas first and then the hotspot second. And, I was on the call while I was at the beach Thursday, and they said everything's on schedule, that they feel like by the end of February, every hotspot ordered will be delivered. By the end of February, that every hotspot ordered will be delivered. And my understanding was, even if you order in February, that you will get your hotspot in February. And it's like, okay, Katie, bar the door, get out of our way, because it's going to take a tremendous, when that happens, then my focus is going to go to a totally different level, because, I've got a 12 to 18 month, run, and then that will be done. So it's going to take everything to a different level. So why I'm doing that, what else do I need to accomplish? What do I need to accomplish right now in February? Personally, I can't sit around waiting for that to happen. I will never do that. But for me, some of the other things I've got to do is like this month, to have a successful month, is I've got to identify the right people on our team and create engagement and relationships with the right people that are entering our team every single day. And it's a wide diversity of people, all kinds of people. all kinds of backgrounds and experience, and some successful in building teams. Others have never built a team, and some have been around, team building, and others never have been. So we've got a wide diversity of people. So how can I help them move forward? Because I know how to help them move forward. It's a simple process. They can all do it. But, it's just a matter of, again, taking action consistently daily, and I talk about 5 hours a week with that group. And if, I don't care what their background is or experience or age or anything else, if they do the right things 5 hours a week, they're going to progress. And I know that, but they've probably heard things like this before, and who's this guy? So there's a whole trust factor and a lot of things that I have to work on to try to help identify the right people and create engagement and relationships with the right people that are entering our team every single day. And I will continue to promote 5 hours a week because I understand the lag time in this business, and I don't want to get down the road, 90 days or so, and it's like, Dale, you didn't do the work in February, so now you're not having the amount of exposures in the market and the amount of new people joining you personally that you've had since the day you started. And I understand lag time. Many people don't. I do. I get it. I don't neglect it. I'm going to put my 5 hours a week in every single week and more if possible. At the time of this recording, we're getting ready. This afternoon, we'll be watching football, the pro football. Dawn and I are not huge fans, but we like it. And we'll be watching to see, the Cincinnati Bengals are in the playoffs, the Final Four. That's kind of cool. I grew up a Bengals fan when I was a kid, but they haven't been there in so long. Somebody said that the last time the Bengals were in the playoffs, only 4 of the people on their team were even born. So I hope they do well. I'm not expecting them to, and it's not life or death for me. We're not talking UK basketball here. We're talking Cincinnati Bengals. But we'll watch the football games and we'll enjoy our afternoon. But I'll be working, doing safe list promotions or doing something. Probably be doing some traffic exchange programs while I'm watching the football game. My laptop will be there and I'll be working because, again, I understand lag time, and I am going to put my 5 hours a week. I mean, while I was at the beach last week, we enrolled 6 people. Okay, I did not talk to one of them. I don't know any of them. They don't know any of me. They don't know me. I didn't even talk to them. They just looked at the facts, got the information for themselves, watched the videos, went to the website, registered, ordered their hotspots. 6 people last week while I was on the beach. That's the way it's supposed to be. And again, if you get the right message in the marketplace at the right time in a market that wants to know what you're doing. And again, I've talked about this probably on this podcast. We're in a market that is very crypto curious. So when we talk about mining cryptocurrency, hotspots, it's just all buzzwords, and people, entrepreneur minded people, are open. So that's that game. And I'm not going to neglect that. So I'm going to continue to do that. This week, hopefully, but for sure this month, I need to get some capital deployed into an investment platform that I've been investigating and checking out, and have, looked behind the curtain to the very best of my ability, and have made the decision to move forward in this new investment platform. But it's extremely complicated to get the funds there. And, I've got to sit down, focus, and get that done. Hopefully tomorrow, but for this week, but for sure in February. That's a major go. Number 2 is, I've got several, businesses and assets that I need to get listed for sale. Some of my income generating websites, e-commerce businesses, a lot of my sports cards I've got to get sent off to get graded, because I'm going to liquidate a lot of my sports card investments, not all of them, but a lot of them, a lot of the mid-tier cards that I have. Second year of Ricky Henderson and Nolan Ryan and Tony Oliva and whoever. Second year cards that aren't worth as much as the rookie cards, but still have value. I've got a lot of those. I need to get them graded and get them liquidated, because I want to take that income and put it into the crypto market this year. So I've got to get that done. And I would rather, I've got too much stuff everywhere I look. I've got too many irons in the fire, always have. And I'm trying not to add more to my plate. I'm trying to liquidate. And it's like, I need to do that now because, nobody will know what they're even looking at except me. So I need to get that done and I need to start that process. And I'm hoping by the end of the year, I will have sold thousands of sports cards by the end of the year. So I need to start that process this month. And, I have to really start asking myself right now, and this is where my deep thought is, and that is what I want my life to look like after iHub is built out. Because in my opinion, 12, 18, 24 months, this is going to be built out. And then what I want my life to look like after that's done. And I need to be thinking about that right now because I need to be making some strategic moves to work towards whatever that's going to look like. And, I'm thinking about, I love this crypto space. I mean, I'm so into it. It's so fascinating to me to watch the emotions move the market. And it's fascinating. And, this metaverse, and there's just so much about it. I just love it. Can keep me excited and occupied and learning and curious for the rest of my life because in my opinion, it is the future of finance around the world. And, honestly, it plays into end times, my belief in end times, perfectly. I mean, it just all lines up in my mind and it makes sense that we're going to work towards a one world currency. And it's just the way it's going to be. There's nothing Dale can do about it, right, wrong, indifferent. But I love the crypto space. And I also understand there's a lot of people like me that are baby boomers, are older, are not, didn't grow up, with a cell phone and texting and video games and this whole world that are very challenged just trying to wrap their mind around it. And I feel like I can help people wrap their mind around it, but do I really want to? I really don't want to, but do I need to? And then it's like, crypto for average Joe. Well, because it's beyond complicated to understand. And there's very few people that can explain it, that have the patience to explain it to people like me from my generation. So I know there's a need in the market, but I just don't know if I'm the person wants to try to fill that. But in the meantime, right now, as I'm learning new things, I'm just putting that over at cmgcrypto.com, and that's okay for me right now. But how is this all going to look like in 2 years? So I have to be thinking about that. So when February is over, I want to have added at least 10 new personally enrolled reps, on our iHub Global team. I know that will happen if I just do the promotion 5 hours a week, because it just does. Because the 5 stars have lined up. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's the way it's supposed to be. So, that's where my mind is right now. On February, I've got to get moving on these sports cards. I've got some businesses I need to get listed, some e-commerce businesses I need to get up for sale. I have a couple of sales pending right now that I need to finalize those, and I got to keep moving in that direction. And that's kind of where my thought and mind is. And then I'm keeping my fingers crossed that everything will continue to come together with iHub Global, because once the boxes are out there, then that's going to disrupt everything for the rest of the year. I mean, I might not look at one sports card because it's going to be full bore. Let's build this thing. We got 12 to 18, 24 months to do it. So what would a successful February look like for you? And I hope you'll really think about it. I hope you'll write it down. What would that look like for you? What's it going to look like for you? If you're involved in network marketing, how many people do you need to add to your team to feel like, it's been a successful month for you? How much does your team need to grow by, total people to feel like it's a successful month for you? What needs to happen for you? in February where you can look back and say February was a good month, because that's what you need to do, whatever that is, and eliminate everything else. Make February a good month. And I would ask you, number 2, the thing to think about is, do you have a business vehicle that gives you a chance to make February a great month in 2022 one of the best years of your life? And if you don't, then why are you doing it? I see so many good people spending time in businesses that make no sense. It's the same promotional time. You're working for a $3.30 affiliate commission. You're tripping over financial independence to try to make a few dollars, as I've talked about in other podcasts. Do you have a business opportunity right now that gives you a real opportunity, the possibility to create financial independence? Do you? And if you do, then awesome. Give it all you got. If you don't, then you have to find one. You have to find one. Well, Dale, I don't know what to look for. Look, go to YouTube, type in Dale Calvert, Best Opportunity 2022. Type that into YouTube, and I'll walk you through the 5 things that you need to look at. You can go to Dale Calvert, MLMsuccess.com/3 and it'll tell you what to look for when you're looking at a network marketing opportunity. It'll talk about the team, the culture that you're involved with, and a lot of other things that people don't talk about but are real important. See, if you're listening to me and you don't have the right opportunity for you, find it. Find it. What are your strengths? What are your strengths? What do you love to do? What's your long-term goal? Do you just want to make crafts and flip them on Etsy? Then awesome. That's cool. Do whatever you need to do. But the business model that you're working needs to line up with your long-term goals, because if you want to become a millionaire, Etsy's probably not the place to do it. And I'm not saying you should want to become a millionaire. I believe that you should. And again, we're going to go back to one of these. I sincerely believe that every entrepreneur spirited person should have the goal to become a millionaire. And again, this goes back to a formulaic philosophy. And I know many of you listen to me know exactly what I'm getting ready to say. But I believe it, and you know where I got it, and many of you remember, I've told this story, where I finally got it. It got from my head to my heart. I heard it 1,000 times, and then one day, working in the backyard with a headset on, I heard it again, and I really heard it that time. And that is, I believe every entrepreneur spirited person should have a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for the person they will have to become in the process. Jim Rohn. And again, that's a formulaic philosophy. Most people hang out in network marketing for years and years and years and never think about creating, financial independence. Most people don't even think about, replacing their income at their job. But the beautiful part about network marketing is it gives you the opportunity, if you know how to build a team and you're with the right company, time, place, culture, not only can you replace your current income, you can develop financial independence and possibly legacy wealth. And if it didn't offer that, then why do it? So that would be number 2. Have you found the right gig, the right opportunity for you? And to thy own self be true. The numbers either support your feelings about that or they don't. And you can go to Google Trends and you can look up your company and you can see the growth pattern of that company or lack thereof. You can figure this out if you want to spend the time, energy, and effort to do it, and you can get your emotions out of it. Most people can't. Most people fall in love with their first company. They get all emotionally wrapped up, And that's not a good business plan. It's not a good business plan. And I'm talking from experience. Number 3, the last thing is, are you in a situation to run? And another formulaic philosophy that I've really tried to live my life by is, life happens, so run when you can run. Run when you can run. I talk about this in detail in podcast number 57. Life happens. See, there's a lot of people listening to me right now. You got things going on. You got challenges with children, with teenagers, with your parents, there's challenges. Life has challenges. I mean, Dawn and I went through several last year with, both of her parents passed away in the last 12 months. And there's just, life happens. There's challenges. There's family challenges and business challenges, and there's challenges. Life happens. So you have to learn to run when you can run, because you can't always run. Sometimes you have to stop and take care of things. But when you can run and you're not running, that's so on you. You got to get past that. So can you devote a set number of hours weekly to promoting your business? Can you right now devote, 5 hours minimum, 10, 12, 15's better, but can you devote a set number of hours to promoting your business? Do you know what to do? And if you don't, why don't you know? How long have you been doing it and you still don't know what to do? I mean, that's the thing that I'm so thankful for the last, 12, 24 months, is being able to work with a lot of people that are willing to go to work and have learned what to do. I mean, it's like this week, every time I start doing promotions, it's like I can't get away from Shelley Giddings. Everywhere I look is Shelley Giddings. I go to do traffic exchanges, Shelley's there, no matter what I'm doing. Okay, she's learned how to promote, and a lot of other people on our team. And see, that's what I love, because they know what to do, and they're doing the work. And if you know what to do and you do the work, and the stars have lined up, then you can expect progress, weekly, monthly, every month progress. So, do you know what to do? And if you don't know what to do, why don't you know what to do? Who have you been listening to? Where have they taken you? What have they taught you? Are you just hanging out with a bunch of social club members that like to call themselves business owners? I mean, what's the deal here, really? Really. If you continue to do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. You got to learn how to promote. Promote. You don't have, just promote. You got to get your message in the marketplace. And there's multiple ways to do that, to generate leads for your business, but you've got to be willing to do that. And see, some of you, I know, you're with 4-star companies. You should be with a 5-star, just for the record. But you're with 4-star companies. You're with good, solid companies that have opportunity. You are. But you're on teams that have a culture of, social club. Everybody talks about everything's going on in the company and what is and what isn't happening, but nobody's talking about what are the activities you do on a consistent basis that will move you towards success and help you progress on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And those of you working with us, here's what we do. Here's exactly what we do. Here's the videos. Follow it. Here's the copy and paste messages. Do this. Do it consistently. Put 5 hours a week in it, and you're going to move forward and progress. And that's just the bottom line. And that can't be said about every company, because a lot of companies are promoting wrong products, wrong opportunity, wrong time in history. And that's just the truth. All network marketing companies and opportunities and team building opportunities are not created equal. They're not. They never have been. At any given time in the history of this industry, there's been the right company at the right time based upon the 5 stars. And there's been others that, they've come and gone and flatlined. They'll still be here 30 years from now, but there's no opportunity. There's no upside opportunity. Why would you promote something that has that it's the same promotion? So why promote something that doesn't offer you the highest upside potential in return. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand it's all emotionally based, but I would ask people to challenge their thoughts around that. But Dale, I love my upline. That's awesome. If you love them enough, then get where you need to be and bring them with you. I mean, really, come on. Is this about loving your upline? Is your upline paying for your car payment? Is your upline, going to, help you develop royalty passive income that can be passed down to your children and your grandchildren? I mean, why are you here? Are you here for the social love and let's all hold hands and sing kumbaya because we have a better way? Are you here to really make an impact for yourself and your family? And if you are, as Jim Rohn said, we've heard all of it. I've heard us say 1,000 times, if it is to be, it's up to me. But, I talked about in last week's podcast, session 274, preparation, success, engagement. And you've got to prepare so you're able to jump on the right opportunities at the right time in history and create success and stay engaged with the right philosophies, right people, right teams. And as Jim Rohn said, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. You can make better decisions, and you can. So I hope the idea and the philosophy of formulaic philosophies makes sense to you. A lot of people have told me over the years, Dale, you just repeat the same phrases and quotes all the time over and over and over. And it's like, yeah, I do. Why? Because they've gotten from my head to my heart. They're part of what I am, what I believe, what I teach. And they're the formulaic philosophies that make up Dale Calvert. That's why. Well, Dale, how did you just focus on what? No. When I hear something that is valuable and makes total sense, like success is living your life working towards worthy goals. Once you reach those goals, you're no longer a success unless you set new ones, or any proven philosophies that, most of which can be related right back to the Bible, wisdom of the ages principles. And when they line up, I want to make sure, and I've always wanted to make sure, I get this concept, this idea from my head to my heart, and then go into the marketplace and implement it. That's just the way I've been programmed. So I hope that you'll decide at the end of this podcast that you'll sit down with yourself and maybe a piece of paper and really think about, what can I do in February to create new patterns, philosophies, or habits that will ensure that February I am on the right track, and that February was a great month for me, and that that if I can repeat these patterns throughout the rest of the year, then 2022 will be a life-altering year for me. I mean, that's what I hope you will really think about. I don't do these podcasts just to hear myself talk, because I don't even listen to them after I record them. Okay, I just go with what I feel, what I believe, what I hope will speak to people. And see, I know that you have the answers for yourself on how to have a fired up, focused February. I know you know what to do. And if you don't, you can find out what to do. And if you don't have the right opportunity, you can find it. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. Most people don't seek, most people don't knock, because of the self-limiting beliefs that they have programmed into them by the time they were 12 years old about their limited upside potential for the rest of their life. They'll never will, they can't, everybody else can, not me, not I. And that has just been reinforced over and over and over. So some of you, the best thing that you can do is, get on eBay or somewhere and try to find an old copy of my Programming Your Mind for Success program and do a heavy duty reprogramming. Read. Change your philosophy, change your self-talk. That's the best thing some of you can do. But some of you, Dale, I'm ready to roll. I believe in myself. Maybe I am with the wrong company at the wrong time in history. Maybe I do need to make a pivot because, as you said in the podcast earlier last year, that pros pivot. Maybe I need to do that. See, I don't know you personally. I don't know what you need to do. Some of you just need to pour it on where you are. But whatever it is, I know that you know. And I believe, and my hope and my prayer for you is that February, like this month, the time you're listening to this, if you're listening to it when it was dropped, but if you're listening to it, in October, it applies the same. It doesn't matter. There's nothing magical about February other than the fact that this podcast is going to be dropping in February. But my hope is that you will have a fired up, focused February. And I know that you know what you need to do to make that happen. And I also know that you know that if it is to be, it's up to you. It's up to you. You've got to take personal responsibility. You can't change the circumstances. The seasons are the wind. But you can change yourself. Make February phenomenal. This is Dale Calvert. I'll talk to you again on another session of the MLM Success Podcast. If this concept of formulaic philosophies made sense to you, I would really appreciate your feedback wherever you're reading this or listening to this. If you're watching it on YouTube or listening on YouTube, if the concept of formulaic philosophies makes sense, resonates with you, I'd love your feedback. You guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.